Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mariana Petraki, and this is News for You, broadcasting live from Athens. In neighboring Turkey, Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan called for calm after a weekend of fierce anti-government protests, urging people not to be provoked by demonstrations. Tens of thousands took to the streets in Turkey's biggest cities during the last days and clashed with riot police, firing tear gas, leaving hundreds of people injured.
Clashes between Turkish protesters and the police continued in Ankara today in fresh anti-government demonstrations despite Recep Tayyip Erdogan's call for calm just before his departure for an official visit to Morocco. During a news conference at the airport, Turkish Prime Minister said that the three-day protests do not constitute a Turkish prank, blaming the arrest on extreme elements.
Ama ben bir başbakan olarak da, bir vatandaş olarak da, bir İstanbullu olarak da ben bu olayla ilgili olarak şöyle saf, temiz, oradaki duygusal bir, bu işte sosyal medyadan aldıkları bilgiler neticesinde oraya katılanları şöyle ayırırsak, bunun dışında aşırı uçların organize ettiği böyle bir eyleme maalesef katılma durumunda olanlar var.
Last night, in over 67 cities nationwide, protesters took part in anti-government demonstrations in some of the worst violence since the arrest erupted. Protesters tore up the pavement, using stones to build barricades, while the police used tear gas trying to stop demonstrators from marching on the Prime Minister's office. Turkey's main share index has fallen by more than 6%.
Olay aslında sandıkta AK Parti'yi mağlup edemeyenler, sandıkta AK Parti'yi demokratik yollardan geride bırakamayanlar.
In Athens, Turkish and Kurdish organizations are organizing a rally today outside the Turkish embassy in the afternoon in solidarity with demonstrators in Istanbul and other Turkish cities.
Back in Greece, Troika's technical teams arrive in Athens today as a new round of assessment of Greece's adjustment program begins. The reduction of VAT remains high on the agenda. Finance Minister Yannis Tournaras is to meet with the European Commissioner for Taxation and Customs Union, Audit and Anti-Fraud, to discuss Greece's efforts to improve tax collection. The Troika experts are due to look at several areas of the Greek program, assessing the size of the potential fiscal gap for 2015-16, the bank recapitalization process, the firings of civil servants and structural reforms that include changes to the energy market, which is one of the prior actions required before the next tranche of 3.3 billion euros is released. Our political editor, Elena Levizou, is in the newsroom. Good afternoon, Elena.
Good afternoon.
Troika will be back in Athens. Which are the issues under discussion?
Well, the possibility of the VAT tax reduction, especially for restaurants, hotels, in view of the touristic period starting now in Greece, the new property tax and also the layoffs in the public sector will top the agenda of the new round of negotiations that have actually begun today in Athens at a technical level. Now, for the layoffs in the public sector, the mergers of public organizations will be discussed in the meetings with the Troika, which demands the first 2,000 public sector employees be laid off possibly in July, definitely this summer, and the rest by December. Now, for the property tax, Mr. Tournaras is expected to present on Wednesday the Finance Ministry's final proposals on the new unified tax for property and for farmland, and also for the VAT, Mr. Tournaras will first meet today with the European Commissioner for Taxation and Customs Union. In any case, Mariana, the government thinks and believes that Greece will benefit and the negotiations will have a successful end if the country fulfills all its commitments. And now it's time to show, the government says, that Greece can deliver on its promises.
Now, last, Elena, the new General Secretary of the Communist Party gave his first press conference today.
Yes, and Mr. Koutsoupas, Dimitris Koutsoupas, said that his party, the Communist Party, is opposed to the government's policies, but also to Syriza's proposals. When the recovery comes, and if the recovery comes, Mr. Koutsoupas said that will definitely not benefit the people of Greece, whether its mixture comes from Mrs. Merkel or from Mr. Obama. Marianna.
Elena Levizou, we thank you very much. The Orthodox Patriarch of Moscow, Kirill, who is traveling to the monastic community of Mount Athos, met with President of the Hellenic Republic, Karalos Papoulias, and Prime Minister Antonis Samaras in Athens today. The Patriarch was presented with a Grand Cross of the Order of Honor, which is awarded to Greek citizens and foreigners who have contributed to the projection of a positive image of Greece abroad. President Papoulias referred to the close ties of Greece and Russia for over 1,000 years. Patriarch Kirill said that the cornerstone of these ties between the two countries is the Orthodox religion. The Patriarch is the first primate of the Russian Orthodox Church to visit Greece in an official capacity in more than 20 years. On Sunday, Patriarch of Moscow Kirill performed a common liturgy at the Church of St. Panteleimonas in central Athens. Two Greek American storm chasers were among 13 people killed in tornadoes in central Oklahoma in the United States. 55-year-old Tim Samaras, a leading storm chaser and founder of the tornado research company Twistex, was killed in the Oklahoma City suburb of El Reno along with his son, Paul Samaras.
Storm chaser Tim Samaras and his son Paul Samaras were among the victims of Oklahoma tornado. Greek-American Tim Samaras holds the Guinness World Record for the greatest pressure drop ever measured inside a tornado. He designed, built and developed instrument probes to measure atmospheric variables such as pressure and wind in the path of tornadoes. Tim Samaras had been chasing storms for 30 years. He had worked with Discovery Channel, National Geographic and Boeing. Samaras' chase partner, Carl Young, was also killed. 3 employees of the Weather Channel also suffered minor injuries when their vehicle was thrown about 200 yards by the winds while tracking the El Reno storm. 13 people were killed by Oklahoma tornadoes. People were searching for belongings that may have survived the violent storms, cleaning up around their homes and trying to salvage whatever they could.
Finnish driver Jari Matti Latvala won on Sunday the Acropolis Rally 2013 for his first victory in the World Rally Championship this year. The Volkswagen driver crossed the finish line at 30:31:01 overall time after covering a distance of some 300 kilometers from Athens to the seaside resort of Loutraki at the Peloponnese Peninsula and back to the Greek capital in one of the most demanding races internationally. Spaniard Dani Sordo ranked second for Citroën's team and Belgian Thierry Neuville was third in a Ford race car. Dusty roads under heat make the Acropolis race, the so-called Rally of Gods, one of the most difficult for participants. A total of 50 crews, including 13 World Rally Championship cars, entered the 59th Acropolis Rally. The stages had been reduced to 14, down from 22 in past years due to the economic crisis, yet the excitement for teams and spectators remained undiminished. In business news now, the Athens Stock Exchange records losses of 0.01%, closing currently at 1014.41 points. These are the top stories for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned on ERT World.